Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're playing Bloons TD6. I've done a few videos on this game in the past. It's a tower defense game. You can play it social, where you can play co-op with other people online. Today's video is a strategy video of the best kind of way to make money and be able to hold your own in the game. I'm just going to go to an easy map here. I'm just going to go to hard, and I'm just going to go to standard hard just to show you this example on how this works. And what you want to do is when I'm using the hero. This is the hero, the Benjamin hero. I got my mouse up there at the tower selection. When I get that hero on the map, it generates revenue or in-game currency every round, just like a farm does. And it is definitely a good hero to use because this game is all about generating wealth. The more wealth you can generate during a game, the more towers you can put down and more upgrades that you can do. And that's what this video is about, is the best way to generate cash in the game, within the game. And that's what the 850 up here is for. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this free monkey down, and I'm just going to hit play, and I'm going to hit the fast forward button. And in most cases, when you're playing with co-op, this strategy is going to work just great for you. And if your co-op players are doing their part, then you're not going to have a problem getting your hero out right off the bat. I like to try to get it out before round 10. There are going to be some people that are try to do the same strategy as you, and some people might not put down any monkeys, and they kind of force your hand into having to put other towers down to make up for their lack of putting their own towers down. So in this case, I'm here playing by myself. I'm going to bring this monkey out. And what I said about Benjamin is every level, every end level, so we're going into level 7, he's going to generate me some wealth. So that was 100 extra at the end. Now the other towers that do that kind of mechanism at the end of the turn is the boats, the ships, the towers. Now we have no water here, so that's not going to be a thing that I'm going to really show you. But right now what we've got to do is start putting out our strategy pieces. And the one piece that you definitely want to get out is this monkey here. And I'm going to explain that to you here. It is the boomerang monkey. And what's great about it is it will cause the bigger balloons, the big Zeppelin balloons, to kind of be stunned as they move on to the map. And that's down this third tree. I'm on this tower now. And these are the upgrades that you can do. Now, I've already upgraded once. I'm upgraded a second time the boomerang. I'm going to upgrade the fast throwing and fast range. And that's where I'm going to leave this one for now, is just get those in. So I've upgraded 2 tiers on this tower at this point. Now, I don't really need this monkey here, the one that I put down for free. That was just to get me to this point. As you can see, that my one tower is now able to control most of the balloons coming in, and it is equipped to hit lead balloons with its boomerang. What I'm going to do next now is get one more, get one farm out, so that we can will be one more asset on the map that generates me the cash. And what's nice about the farms is it happens throughout the turn. You have to manually pick them up with your mouse. It comes down to what tree you take to upgrade this farm and what it actually produces. And you can look into that. But if you want my opinion, the best tree is the middle tree. Get into the monkey bank and then get into this top tier here. We're going to do that, but for now, we're just going to leave it as its base farm. Because between the hero giving me wealth and the farm giving me wealth, I'm going to be sitting pretty good here for what I want to do next. And what I need to do next is worry about camo balloons. And what's great about it is the wizard tower, third items down, has monkey sense, but what you want to do is you want to get into the shimmerer, which will allow any balloon in the radius of this tower for other towers to see. So my boomerang tower can't see camo balloons. It's one of the balloons that it can't see. But once I add this shimmer, now what's going to happen is any balloon in the radius of this tower will let every tower see them. You want to pick Fireball, and that's where you want to leave it. So at this point, we're at round 18. We have the boomerang monkey up to where we put it, and we've got this here. Now we can both do camo balloons and we can do lead balloons, so we're set for a while. Now we're going to have to worry about the big Zeppelin balloons when they come out, but we won't have to worry about that balloon until round 40. So at this time, what you want to do is you want to put one of these guys down. You want to put them close to the entrance, and these guys are called, what are they called? They're engineer monkeys. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing this bottom tree. And this is where the major wealth is going to come into play in this game. So I recommend this strategy because it's a tower that's going to generate you. So we're going to do the bottom tree here. So yes, the last part of this, the fourth tier of this, is going to cost you 3,780. You want to get that as soon as possible. And what I try to do is get this done before round 31. And with you playing by yourself, that's not a problem. When you're playing with other people in co-op, the round wealth is shared for the normal things that you pop. Now the wealth that you make from your towers is not shared. So like from the monkey, from the farm to my hero, these values do not get shared in a co-op experience. So when you're playing with other people online, they've got to be able to put their own farms down, put their own heroes down, do their own strategy kind of thing. So we're right there. We've got the balloon trap ready. We're going to drop this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take larger service area, only because by taking that, it allows us to move where this box is. And what you want to do is you want to move it right to the front here. So it will move itself. There it is. So what's going to happen now is every balloon that comes down there is going to end up in that trap. And I collect everything that gets collected in that trap, I get the money for. So you'll see that my income is exponentially like going up. I'm at almost 3,000 at this point. So at this point, what you want to do is you want to upgrade your boomerang monkey, and you want to get the mob press, because those mob press, I guess. This is what those Zeppelin balloons, those big ones, and we'll see them at round 40. But that's 9 rounds from now. So we only have to get into this. Once we get into this, and honestly, I'm just going to sell the farm. I don't need it at this point. I mean, it's up to you if you want to keep the farm going, but I got rid of it just to clean this up a little bit so that you can see by the monkeys or the towers on the map, I'm generating enough wealth. So the key is I'm going to upgrade this to its top tier. You eventually do want to get into this one here, the huge trap. It's going to cost you 51,000, but that is a good thing to get into when you can. So I can now upgrade this to the press. I can go to this. I can upgrade the firewall. And then the next thing I want to do is upgrade the necromancer ability, which is going to cost 3,000. Now, this progression is quick in a single player game because like I said, all the cash is coming to me. You see how I can see the camo balloons, the lead balloons. So now at this point, we want to put the alchemist out. The alchemist is one of the most important towers in the game. So what you want to do is you want to put the alchemist in so it's going to cover the most amount of real estate here. I think on this side is going to be fine. And what you want to do with the alchemist is you want the top tier. And what this does is that top tier allows the alchemist to send potions to the other towers that enhances their overall abilities. So you make them, you're like juicing them up. And you want to get to you want to get to the 3,000, you want to get it as high as you can, and we'll be able to do it. It's going to be up to there we go. So you want it up to the 4th tier, and then you can just stop. You can take either one of these. I usually take the middle one, cap that off, but you definitely want the top potion brewer. And what now this tower is doing is it's sending the brew buffs to these other 3 towers. So we're at the 39th level. And the next level is when and I'm going to hit play. And see how quickly I was able to deal with that? No problem at all. Because this tower here, the boomerang monkey, was able to pause it enough that the other monkeys around me did the damage it needed to get it there. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another engineer down, and I'm going to basically make another trap. Because what happens is when the trap gets full, it disappears. And then there's a pause between when it comes back or not. So to have multiple traps down and place them all at the beginning here allows me, now those traps are not going to catch the big Zeppelin or MAB balloons. Only catches the smaller ones, which is fine. It's generating enough wealth for me to just... these 2 towers are generating more wealth than any farm was going to generate me. And they're doing damage. So they're a farm in itself, a money collector that is actually helping in the game. And that's why I advise you using these. Now the next thing we're going to put down is the Dartling Gunner there, and I'm going to actually put it here so that this goes across multiple and I want to go to lock, click lock, and I want to lock it in place. Then I want to take the top tier and the 2nd tier, and I want to hit play. So now this guy is covering all of this real estate, and when we get to 13,000, it's going to be OP. It's going to be crazy. You know, these towers that I'm placing in this game is the towers that I use in the sequence that I use them in most games that I play, even online. Because all these towers will be good while playing with other people. Sometimes you have to put them down at different times, depending on what the other players are doing. Like the camo guy, you might need to get him out sooner if nobody's addressing camo. You might have to do something different with the lead balloons, depending on how that's getting addressed with the other players that you might be playing with. But you can see how quickly I was able to make the cash needed to upgrade this. Now, it's nice to upgrade this to its maximum, but we're not going to get there unless we start putting farms out. That's at this point, at the 48th level, you got to ask yourself if this was a game that went to 100 levels, then you'd have to generate more wealth some way. And putting farms down would be the best way of doing it at this point. This experience, this game is only to the 80th level. I can win the game right now with just the monkeys that I've got on the board right now. The towers I got on the board, I can make it to 80th level and win this experience without having to increase it. After 80th level, and if you want to go to 100th level, that window is a lot harder and you got to be very good at what you place down. The other thing you need to know if you're playing a co-op experience, if the game has up to round 80, you always want to go to round 100, even in free play, because they give you a free monkey, a power monkey, when you reach 100. So these power monkeys, you earn them as you play, and they go into this power monkey bank that I'm showing you. And basically, you get those every time you hit 100th level. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to put a farm down. My first thing I'm going to do is put this tower down, and then I'm going to take the third thing here and do tier 2 of it. What this does is it allows anything in its radius to be cheaper to upgrade by doing that. So now I'm going to get into the monkey bank. I'm going to do the top here. So this is basically as tricked out as you'd want it. So you've got 2 tiers at the top here, the greater production, and you got 3 here. Now the 8,000 one, you could do that if you want, if you're going to take advantage of the special ability, but I think it's a waste of cash, especially when I can just drop down another entire monkey bank and have double the production of the interest. Because what's nice is the banks are generating me interest. See how that's generating? So I'm not only getting and what's also nice is you don't have to collect the bananas because it's all built into the system. So I don't have to sit here, because if I'm going to put this one down. If I don't upgrade the bank, I have to sit here and collect it, right? Now the other option to not have to collect them manually, is to do the bottom tier here and go into the marketplace. And then you could choose increased production and greater production. So that is another farm tower that you can make that you don't have to hover over. It just will do it itself. You're just not seeing the banks do it. Well, look, we've already got 3,000 cash built up at those banks for just a couple rounds. So then I'm going to put another, I don't think I can fit it in here with the way I did this, which is fine. So we're good to go. So this, that monkey's not being affected. This monkey's not being affected by this tower. So I'll just do the greater radiance and see if it affects it. Yeah, it didn't really change the value. Maybe we'll have to go through another. Yeah, well, we don't need this. We don't need this tower anymore. We used it to just make sure that these farms were not costing 100% of its value. It reduced the cost of these things. So I'm going to collect the banks. I'm at 30,000 now, almost 30,000 here. 30,000 I'm at right now. So yeah, I mean, I haven't put another tower on the map, only because I haven't needed to. So I'm just collecting the wealth. I think what I'm going to try to do is, like I said, you want to get into this XXL trap as fast as possible, and that costs 51,000. We're at round 61. So we're 10,000 away from getting that done, and I've got 4,000 built up into the bank. I'm gonna wait for that to build up some more, because the more you leave it in there, the more interest or more value you get from it. So we're at 4,007 at the bank. Okay, we can do it now. We'll collect it now. We're at 51. So now what we can do is we can buy that. So now the big balloons will be captured in that trap. So it will make like 2,500 each time each time the trap gets full. Just crazy the amount of wealth that bigger XXL trap makes for you because it collects the bigger balloons. So if we were going to try to push this game all the way to the 100th round and free played after 80, then what we're going to need to do is put some more of the boomerang guys down to help with the pushing back of the bigger balloons. The mob press is what you need. Fast throwing is fine. I'm going to put another one here. Okay, so I've got those 3 that are down. So that should cover me for a while. So what I also should add is another wizard. I'll put it here to do camo balloons. Oh, get that to max level. I'm bringing in so much money now that I can just max level these things out between. So now all of these can see the camo. All these, so any camo. Now this alchemist is hitting all these guys, but these 2 guys are not being hit by the alchemist. So it probably would not hurt to put another alchemist here. Get that maximum up to throw the potions. All right, so that alchemist. So right now we're set. We're set for a while. You know, we're doing very well. I do want to point out that this one here, the Spike Factory, we want to put that out here because that's going to be a good one to put out for end game. Now let's see what we got for. Okay, we got 14,000 in the bank. So what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade the Spike Factory. We want the middle one. And what we want to do is we want to get into the carpet of spikes, and we want the bigger stacks to go with it. So we need 43,000 to push that to its max. So we've got 15,000 now. So we're just going to just generate some wealth here. Just let the system generate. The reason why you want this carpet of spikes, it basically does this. See what I did? I used a special ability to coat the track with spikes. At the 43,000 level, the factory does that on its own. So you don't have to babysit it. You don't have to worry about it. And it coats the track completely. So we got we only got 2,000 in the bank. We'll let that simmer some more. It should only take, what, 2 more rounds to get up to where I need to be? Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to cash that out. We should be able to pay for this round. And there it is. So now that tower is just going to coat the track constantly. So now what we want to do is we do want to put a tower in. And I want to put it right here. Now, we could have put this in earlier. It's up to you. But what I want to do is I want to do this tier and I want to do this tier. So 2 and 2. And then I want to push it in the training. Now, if you did this earlier, the towers would have cost you less because the upgrades would have been free at tier 1. But when you're making this much wealth, doing it whenever, I just kind of wanted it here so that it guarantees me to see the camo balloons. Plus it gives all that extra pierce damage in the cooldowns. So that, you know, and there we go. I mean, geez, I did the 80th round with no problem. So now we're going to hit next. And this is where you would say you want to free play it. So what we want to do is get from 80 to 100 to get that free tower. So anytime you play the game, if you can get to the 100th level to get that free tower, then you want to do that. So now I got 32,000. What I'm going to do is I'm going to now put my druid down. Druids are very effective, but when you're using the strategy of collecting the wealth through the engineer, the druid, most people will do this with the druid. They'll take the middle tier and they'll go to the druid of the jungle. And what that does, which is good, what that does is it causes the druid to create thorns, and they don't need line of sight to do it, and they'll stop balloons from even getting onto the map. So what happens is your traps are not as effective if you got a druid running, because a druid is killing the balloons before they make it into the traps. So that's why I like to put the druid out end game, so it doesn't interfere with my traps. But I also want the spirit of the forest, which is another entire thorns on the entire track. So I've got the spike factory covering the entire track, plus now the druid of the forest is covering the complete track with thorns. You can see them being generated. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to push this tower here, if we can, to, when we got 86,000, which shouldn't take long to get. Because as we go up levels, we're getting a little bit more cash for each level. It's just the way the system works, is they're sending more balloons after you to see if they can beat you, and then by sending more balloons, you're able to create more cash. I mean, we're already at 42,000. And then your banks work more efficiently too, because you're collecting more cash each round. So we're at 90th level now. So these are the levels that are going to be really hard for us, because there's a certain type of balloons that will come that are really hardy, and they're hard to kill. I think we're going to see them this round, or we'll see them next round. Yeah, we'll definitely see them this round, I believe. There they are right there, but I gobbled them up. They came onto the map and I destroyed them right off the bat. So now I'm gonna collect my bank money. I'm gonna do this. Now this guy now is just crazy mode. I mean, and what I wanna do is I wanna pair an alchemist with him, just so that he's got that extra oomph on the laser. So now the alchemist is feeding. I don't need these farms anymore, so just might as well sell them, because we're only going to the 100th level. So I haven't used any abilities. I mean, we got all these abilities here at the bottom tray. I haven't done any of that for this game. I just clicked that once, because you don't really need to in this kind of setup, because this setup's pretty OP. And as I was saying before, is, if you strategically place the towers where they need to be, then, and you're smart about it, then you can get through these maps. So we got one more level, and this is it. This is the 100th level. And again, this is not, and then you get your free monkey tower, and that's it. That's the whole entire game right there. That's the strategy. Easy win. Thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkus Zone.